Well, hi scholars. Welcome to this week's project. We are going to talk a little bit about the idea of optical illusion. So, what does that mean? Optical illusion is when we look at something on a piece of paper and it looks like it's moving, or it looks like it's popping out of the page, right? But it's all an illusion because it's really flat. And to create that, there's some little tricks that we can do to make things look like they're popping out in 3 dimensions, like a 3D art. So this week, you're going to work on this beautiful project using your hand on paper, and it makes it look like it's sticking out. Such a simple thing, but such a fun thing to do. So I'm going to show you and follow me step by step. So we're going to start with a pencil, a white paper, and your hand, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to trace our hand, just like this. Now, I like to use the ruler. It's hard for me to make straight lines sometimes, so I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm just going to make some lines that go across. I'm going to make, I like their pattern here. I like how they did a pattern. So they have a wide line, then they have a skinny, a wide, skinny, wide. So I'm going to do that as well. We're going to do a wide, which means kind of a fat line, right? Then we're going to do 2 skinny lines and another skinny line and then another fat line, or wide. Wide is a nice word instead of saying fat. And then a skinny lines. Thin. Thin is another word saying instead of that. To make it look like it's popping out, it's all about where you place your lines. I'm going to do the back, the lines behind the hand first. Now, as you see, I'm getting close to the finger, so I'm going to skip. Anywhere that the fingers are, I don't want to put a line there. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and go up to the fingers, skip, keep going on the other side of the fingers. So the idea is that you don't want to put a line across your fingers. All right? So you want to make sure that when you make your lines, you skip the fingers and just go behind them. And if you by accident get inside, erase. That's okay. You'll erase, because we don't want the fingers to have straight lines. That doesn't help when we're trying to create the illusion. So I'm going to keep going, and you guys, and I'll show you what the next step is, all right? So I'll just make all my lines now. Okay, so I got most of my lines. I might add a few up here. It doesn't matter how you make your lines. You can make them skinny or wide. It's up to you. But here's the trick. Let me come in close here for a minute. So for it to look like it's popping out, when you get to each of the fingers that has lines, here's the trick. You're going to meet this line, and you're going to make a line that's curvy and it goes up. The same thing here. So it's got a curve, okay? The same thing will go here, here. So if you create a curve, a line that's going this way, it makes it look like the lines are actually going on top of the fingers, and it makes it look like the fingers are underneath, to look like the fingers are going under the lines. And that's what gives us the illusion of an optical effect and makes it look like it's popping out of the page. Okay? And you're going to do it all the way across on both the fingers and the rest of your hand. This line has to meet that line. This line will meet that one. And I'm adding a little curve to my lines, like so that they're going like this. And that makes it look, gives that feeling of 3 dimensions. An illusion that the hand is underneath. Oops, I think I made this line wrong. This line should be going all the way across to this line. And this one should be going like this. Here's what I did with mine. I colored it red, yellow, purple. And I repeated the pattern. And you know, it's a little hard to see the hand because we need to do one more step. I would like you to get a black crayon. I would like you to get a black crayon, and we're going to add a little bit of shading. This is called shading. I'm going to come in a little close. And what this does is we're going to make little circles. And then we're going to outline our hand, all our fingers, with the black crayon. I used markers for my hand, but I'm going to do my outline with my black crayon. And you don't want it to be so dark, so if I did a black marker, it would be way too dark, and it would ruin my effect. But the black crayon is light enough and soft enough that it'll just make your hand pop out a little bit more. So so you can see, I've traced all my hand using the black crayon. And then I'm just going to add little tiny bits of black. I go like in little circles. And this is called shading. This gives it the illusion of having a shadow. Like if the light was hitting it, it would produce a shadow. And because you're adding this little black next to it, this will make it pop out even more. So if there's spots that don't pop out, adding the black really makes it pop out. So I will continue to add a little bit of this shading all the way around my fingers. And it's very light. You don't have to go very deep. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go very dark. Just make it very light and very easy so that it's only a little bit that shows up. So that way when you're done, your fingers will look like they are popping out of the page. All right? So let's have fun. Enjoy this and do the best you can.